はい。では、ちょっと、いろいろ始めます。ちょっと早いけど、ちょっと待ってくださいね。いろいろ準備しますので、お待ちください。うん、作ってるかな、大丈夫かな。音量とか、あ、大丈夫そうだね。ベストさんいらっしゃい。あれちょっと待ってよ。まだコメントの、あれ、起動してないわ。あ、これでいけるかな。うわ、セリフ。設定が足りなかった。時間まで読み上げるのか。まあ、いっか。ちょっとポストの方も、許しますので、まだ時間あるので、しばらくお待ちください。ワクワクですね。ちなみにちょっと告知なんですけど、今週の土曜日、初めて、ビッグタイムのギブアウェイやりますので、興味ある人はぜひ来てください。土曜日の9時から21時からやります。10人集めないといけないんで、多分そんなに集めれる自信はないんですけど、逆に言えば、かなり高確率で当たるんじゃないかなと思ってます。来れば当たるんじゃねえみたいなレベルで、もしかしたら当たるかもしれない。言われ。 なんか URL コピーできないんだけど、なんでだ。コピー来た。本当だ、編集した。これだけか。大丈夫。うん。ディスコードの方に、これ、いよいよですよね。いつなんだろう。ワイプ。ワイプがめっちゃ気になるんですよ。いつになるか。うん。お、ちょっと待って、ちょっと待って。聞こえなかった。ちょっと早いな。ちょっとすぐな。実装した。なるほど。そうなんですか。ちょっとその辺はわかんないですね。ちょっとまたお話聞かせてください。気になります。うん。なんか今ニュース来たよ。ああ、開いたのか。OK。あ、やべ、間違えた。あ、そうなんだ。俺もね、ビッグタイム自体ね、一時期やめました。あれも、あれ、やってみつけて、 よし、じゃあ打つか。そうそう、もう開いてるよね、多分。開いてなんか誰も入ってない。よし、来ました。あ、開いてるね。そうそう。いいです。ちょっと待ってね。よし、これで。お、安さん、ありがとうございます。フォローありがとうございます。かったら言ってください。Yeah, Leo さん。Leo. Hi. Welcome to my stream. 今日はですね、日本語メインなので、ちょっと他の言語はあまり話さないで。よろしくお願いします。一応画面こんな感じで、ちょっとやりますので、お願いします。で、この真ん中の画面に翻訳出るはず。出るよね、それは。設定が、まだ生きてれば出るはず。便利ツールですよ。あれですね。Google 様々です。Chrome の拡張機能で。あ、羽根水さんいるじゃん。すごいすごい。なんかみんな気になるんだね。知ってる人チルトラいいよね。あ、なんだ。見にくいかな。チャットさ、なんか、左側に移動するか。こんな感じで。 違うわ、これツールのやつだ。この白い線なんだろうって思った。ツールの方で。みんな間違ってたタイプですね。1分ちょっとです。そこがちゃんと動いてくれることを願っています。そこだけがちょっと心配。すごい、193人いる。もうすぐ200人いくすごい。あれ
Hey, hey.
あ、OK だね。翻訳の。
Hey, guys. Waiting for Tom and Andrew, and then we're good to go. I see that there is over, oh my god, over 200, almost 250 people here. Amazing.
すごい。
Another record
素
breaking
晴ら
AMA
しい。
session on our hands.
どうですか？見えますよね？多分大丈夫かな？とりあえず、こんな感じでやろうと思って。
By the way, in case any of you have missed my pretty face and luscious locks, here I am. So, yeah.
はい。ありがとうござい
Waiting for
ま
the rest of
す。
the guys.
さあ、このまま行きます。これで。チャットの動きが激しい。あれ配信してますよ。あれオフラインって何？オフライン何がオフラインになってます？ね、わかんない。すみません。
Tomorrow box sale. No, no box sales tomorrow. Unfortunately, also no Halloween event. And fortunately for all of you, no twerking on camera. Come on, guys. None of you want to see this.
Oh, sure.
Okay, we're closing on 300. Everyone want to see this? No, no, no. I see some of you like posting credit card gifts. Trust me, you don't have enough.
ありがとうございます。
When Tom is right here when you call him.
Oh, Tom is getting his coffee. He's got it.
He
Because
always
it's
coffee
late
hour.
in Singapore, but the show's
Yeah,
got to go on.
it's not necessarily late in Belgrade, but I'm also like
Yeah.
あ、フォローありがとう
on
ご
the
ざいま
juice.
す。
No, honestly, the work-life balance ain't so bad. But preparing these AMAs for you guys, making sure everything is in working order, it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
Hey,
and every
Magano,
AMA.
I do. I have the Atreus tattoo from God of War. I redid the actual lettering, the young Futhak runes. So it has a different meaning. But the thing itself, yeah, that's it. Sorry to interrupt you, bro. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I was saying that every AMA session is like record breaking for us. This time we have over 60 questions and over 300 people in audience.
I mean, it's getting
By the
bigger
way,
and bigger.
I just wanted to let you know that you have no WorldShards background. If that's the way you
No
intended.
way. That's not intended.
Yeah.
I'm going to change that right away. Thank you. Sorry, it's a little bit stress. I'm
Yeah, I
getting
got
married
it.
in like 5 days. So I'm all over the place.
You know, you
yeah.
almost you probably have the audience now. Everybody knows that they have no chance with you, and they're just gonna outright leave. What can you do about that? Yeah, I see that a lot of people are already out.
Hello?
Yep.
Okay, that was weird.
Yeah.
Is it working now?
Yeah.
Yeah, this WorldShards background thing nearly crashed my Discord. I didn't hear the joke you made, but I'm sure it was really funny.
I said that like near half of our audience is going to leave now. They know that you're married. So
No, they were not here for that. They were here for the sweet,
I
juicy NFTs.
already see some messages on chat. Half of people congratulating you, half of people saying that okay, now I'm leaving.
Thank you, guys. It's been a long time coming.
Yes. As usual, we are going to have a text recap. I'm just checking in with Andrew to see if he's a bit late. We may as well start without him, but I gotta double check.
Let's see. Can probably start capturing the video. But that won't be relevant for a couple minutes until Andrew gets here. Can you guys tell me if the stream is okay? If the quality's fine, the frame rate, as soon as it loads? Usually the stream gets all kinds of weird when there's lots of people. And there is lots of people here today. Still way too sensitive for the mouse controls. How is the stream? Is the quality okay? Frame rate smooth? How are we doing?
Yeah,
good quality.
looking good.
It's okay, perfect. Good. Well, before Andrew is here, what can you guys see from my stream that is not currently available to you guys? If I can walk up this bloody ladder. It's on the roof, and it ain't square. It's circular. So this is exciting. We're adding round building objects, and there's going to be an entire section here rounded with all kinds of fun things you could do. And it's not just like in this section as well, other things as well. But it's going to hopefully allow you guys to get way more creative with building. I didn't have much time to set this up because I forgot. I did a very quick thing. I was like, where do I put a rounded object? I just stuck it on top of this house. So it looks a bit weird. But that's okay. We're here to mainly talk about the economy anyway, so I thought I'd get this out of the way.
すごいな、これ。
Yeah, castles with towers, but nothing beats my first
めっちゃ
outhouse.
作り
So,
込まれてるやん。
but it's
Yep.
lovely. It's a lovely building. Can you
We
have
could
windows?
also
Yeah, of course.
やば。
You already
play
have
around
windows.
with the islands. Which island should we choose for this one? Which island am I on? I'm on this one, so I think I'm on the perfect island. Actually, no, I'm not on this one. Let me
全部
switch to the
最
island
高
that
リ
I
ア
am
リ
on.
ティやん。
Boom. Ah, but the artifact slots decrease, but who cares? I don't think I'm using 4 artifacts anyway. I think it shouldn't be a problem. Here we are. This is the island in my background. This should be good. Thank you, Mr. Gins. We actually have a close friend of mine, Dima, working on a lot of UI, and a lot of people from the art department working on the assets, people in the technical arts positions working on visual effects. There's so much happening that we don't talk about because we realize you guys care about 2 things, when and wipe. So I know a lot of it's not interesting, but there's still so much stuff going in behind the scenes, and I mean, you can see it, right? You can feel it every update. The game is getting smoother to play, more enemies to fight. The visual effects are getting more interesting. There's promises of new biomes. There's so much stuff, but we know what you're here for. We know what you're here for. So we'll give you the good stuff. When tokenomic MLS NFT? Well, we're getting there. The economy is launching across multiple phases. And keep in mind that it's still going to be a lot of work to get there. But we're getting there. We're slowly getting there. But we'll talk all about that in due time. When remaining artifact sale? That is on the AMA. Gu Mancha. We will address this a little bit later.
Yeah, I see that a lot of you want to ask me specifically about the vibe, guys. I already okay, so now I know like a relative time frame of when vibe is going to happen, but I'm going to have a special announcement dedicated specifically for that. So no news about vibe today. Though we have some questions about vibe, but not about the date.
嘘
Yeah. When will we be able to fuse NFTs to upgrade to the next rarity? Straight G asks. This is also an AMA, and we will tune in. But long story short, for all of the questions I've picked out from chat, it will be coming across the economy launch. Economy launch is in multiple parts, like I said, multiple phases. A lot of the stuff is already in the current builds. It's just not acceptable. These things, they take time. The groundwork takes time. We will not just be able to flip a switch and bam, everything is there. It's a lot of work. It's a heck of a lot of work. So bear with us. We'll get everything to you. Everything that we've described. There's also a lot of work to be done on the wiki. I think Rome and I both realize that we're falling a little bit behind with the pace of development of the project. But you guys know that the orange rank in Discord, the developers, will be able to answer all your questions. So always, that's the priority information coming from us, but it's no excuse. We will also update the wiki. You have our word. It's a very important thing.
Actually, we are already in the middle of the process of creating new articles for wiki. They, in my opinion, they look good and they are very, very informative. Oh, there is Andrew. Hey, Andrew.
Hello, Andrew.
Hello, everyone. Great to see this amount of people here. How are you all doing?
It's crazy, right? We're pushing 400. I was just saying that the biggest game night I did was like over 200 people. But we are topping that. This is
raising the bar every time.
Yeah. Another AMA, another broken record.
Hey, Andrew, how was today's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 session? He was working. I was actually working with him. I can attest he was not playing games all day.
Yeah. From the early morning, we've been cooking up the AMA, so no Call of Duty for us today.
I wish I had more time to play games, but the only game I'm busy with is WorldShards. I hope everyone
Specifically economics. This guy is behind
can
the scenes.
relate to that.
Yeah, people said that since Andrew wiped his head, the wipe is coming soon. Yeah, probably something like that. So, since all of us are here, and I assume that everyone who wanted to come and had the opportunity to come here are already here, we are like 360 people strong, or over 360 people strong. As always, you guys are amazing. We're going to start, and first I'd like to cover the topics we're going to discuss today. Of course, most of your questions were related to the phase 1 of the economy launch. Some
Which
of
is
them,
understandable.
yeah, of course, that's the hot topic. Some of them were related to token in general, and of course, a lot of them were related to artifacts. We had postponed this AMA session for quite a bit in order to show you a lot of things. That's exactly what Tom is going to do. But
Yes.
of course, some of the things are still cooking, so we're going to show them a bit later. But all in all, I do believe that it's going to be one of our most exciting AMA sessions to date.
Yes.
So yeah,
and I think
we always
it's
try to conduct AMAs closer to the upcoming update to be able to show you what exactly you will be seeing there. And today we are gonna sneak peek the upcoming update to you in like 90% of it. So let's go for it, shall we?
Sure. So, full disclosure, this is not currently live. This is all on the test build. We've been rushing, scrambling to get this out into this AMA. So what we're going to go through right now are the biggest things that are going to interest you. That is the new NFT functionality, some of the new gameplay things and features. But most importantly, we're going to answer quite a few questions that are in the AMA just by simple virtue of demonstrating, because we understand that we voice these things, we write them down, but it's a little bit easier to see and understand once you actually get a look at it, right? Once you can see how it works. So what do we have here? We have here a test character that has insane amount of currency, but there's all these new currencies. We will get to them. But most importantly, if we go over the NFT items that I have, you'll start to see that there is luck, which was already in the game, but now it actually has meaning, or more so. There is also this thing called luck level, the charge, and the luck multiplier. And this is the case for everything but the weapon. So this means the weapon is out of charge. So how does one charge the weapon? And what is this all for? If we go over to this craft station and we go over to the collection screen, we will be able to see that there is production, which we are all familiar with. Then there is the charging, which is the important thing. If we select this great hammer, which is important, there is other NFTs that I have, but this is the thing we're going to be running around with. You have 3 different things. You can very clearly see that the Lux item multiplier will be 100% because this is a fully upgraded crafting station. This allows me to get full luck multiplier, which is once again, because the artifact's rarity that I have attached here to my forge is matching to the Warhammer. If we go over to this one, which is a very common artifact, and we do the exact same steps, we'll start to see that there is a couple more lines of text here. You will gain 25 luck multiplier, not 100. So we're losing 75% efficiency by not matching the artifact rarity to the weapon rarity. The level of the workbench is lower than the level of the charge item. And we can still do these things. It's just not ideal, right? So you'll still be able to enable token drops by going out into these adventures, and we'll get to see that in a second, but not ideal. So if we start charging now, we can see that you can cancel, you can see the time, everything will be up like you would expect it to. But most importantly for now, for the process, of demonstration, I'm going to speed this up with my insane amount of currency, and that's it. Now, if we scroll down, you can see it has 6 charges. So what does that mean? 6 charges, I have multiple different charges across multiple of my different item pieces. How is this going to translate to actually playing the game and seeing what it means? So there is no new adventures in terms of a different game mode. What we have are the same things that we are used to, But when we decide to go to them, so let's go to, I don't know, a tier 2 small island, you will start to see there's a little thing here which you toggle, activate attraction force. In this mode, you can farm tokens for luck. So once again, this is relating the things that we talked about, the charge level, which means efficiency, the luck, which is a stat, also generating efficiency. And when we press travel, we can start to see the charges that are being used up from the items, and we can either select them or deselect them, depending on how much we want to have. Need to equip a collectible item with sufficient charge. So here, let's say, for example, we only want to use a charge on one of my items. It instantly tells me that the chance of getting a collection item will be reduced because the level of the equipment is above the adventure level. Keep in mind, we went to a tier 1 with, level 5 gear. Sorry, level 1 with a level 5 gear. This is well overkill. And you can start to see the total attraction forces. They are dynamic in that I am able to control the amount of things that I can get. For now, let's just turn all of them on and let's go. How does this actually look in game? What does this mean? What happens when you get into the adventure? What happens when you start fiddling around? What's going on? So we now have basically paid for the adventure. We paid for it with gold. We paid with it with runes, the standard system. But we also paid with it with the charge levels. As you can see, I just at the beginning of the AMA charged only 6 charges, and I used one to get onto this island. So now I have 5. And also there's this overheat at the bottom, which basically, is a different mechanic. I'm sure Andrew can explain this in a little bit. But the important thing is when we hover down below towards the buff indicator, we can see that the points of blessing increase the chance of dropping collector's items. That's all active. And you can see the specific armor slots and specific equipment that is linked to this. If I start taking it off, it gets updated. So let's say, for example, something breaks, or even worse, all of it breaks. You're still on the adventure. You can still, go around and, use your other NFT items. But you're not going to get any NFT drops because the things that are actually enabling us, the things that we charged and the things that we paid for, are not on my character. So unfortunately, the NFT drops themselves, I will not be able to show you. They're still in the works, but basically...
You mean token drops?
Sorry, that's right. I misspoke. The token drops are not quite here, but it's basically the same as always. It doesn't matter, for example, if you have a weapon and you're only using those charges. It's not a thing which, you have to kill enemies and hit them in order to get the tokens. It's anything you do. I'm chopping down trees. I'm fully clearing the area. Doesn't matter what I do. As long as I'm just playing the game, we don't want to limit you and have, force you to do a certain thing. That's it. If the token drops are enabled, token drops are enabled. It's as simple as that. So in light of all of this, I think we can return home and just keep running around and showing things. But this is, in essence, how this system is going to work. And this is the things that you're going to start to see on the first phase or the first sort of big update that we're rolling out. Of course, there will be more mechanics to show you as time goes on. And of course, we're going to fill the system out with a lot more things, as already many people have asked. How do you increase the rarity? How do you increase the rarity of items versus artifacts? All of these things. But we'll get to them in due time. I think I've showed everything. Andrew, remind me if I'm missing something. But I'm pretty sure this is it in terms of the mechanics.
I think most of it is covered. You definitely mentioned the question that we saw in AMA request list related to the non-matching rarity of the artifact.
Yeah, I think the charging as well.
So I think, yeah.
And as well as what exactly does it mean when when items break, addressing the mechanics with, is there going to be min-maxing for, can I enter the island and then change my equipment and stuff like that? No, you pay for everything upfront. The game takes that, and that's it. You've enabled token drops for this, right? But that's about as far as it goes.
And I think we need to mention, I think we need to mention the important difference. And here in our game, the time is not limited. It's not a timed buff that will wear off in 30 minutes. So right. If you entered the island and activated the this type of adventure mode, you might take all the time you have to complete this island. So there will be no time limit forcing you to complete the adventure in the set amount of time.
That's right. And if you're wondering why I keep bouncing between adventures, it is because I want to show you the new biome, which we have, and talk a little bit about that. But I'm not really getting lucky with the randomness of it. But I'm just going to keep running around.
Winter is coming.
Yeah, I will turn off the stream and hopefully I'll pop it back on when I finally get it, so I can talk a little bit about the winter biome and what that means and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, winter is coming relatively soon. So, shall we go for questions?
Yep, let's do that.
First one was related to the token. It goes like this. Well, will the token be listed? And how much is the amount of the token? How will the burn work? And do we use token to craft or upgrade? And will you take this one?
Sure. So I said that many times before. We are tied by non-disclosure agreements with any partners and exchanges that we are in talks with. So the listing date as well as listing partners will be announced very shortly before the listing itself. And we cannot, unfortunately, disclose that. That will be a violation of the agreements with exchanges. With many of them, we will have some activities planned before the listing, like marketing, promotion of the game. So you will be able to have the idea what the listing partners will be closer to the listing event, and this will be announced as soon as all the agreements are in place and the date is fixed. Date is fixed. Sorry. So how much is the amount of it? I have no idea what is being referred to. But yeah, I can actually understand what is the reference here. So the burn mechanic, we will soon update the whole wiki with the elaborate description of the all the features that are being rolled out, so that all of you could address turn to wiki whenever something is not clear. The burning, we won't we have in regards to the token, the vesting of the in-game reward pool, which defines how much of the tokens could be in the circulation. So on the macro level, our tokenomics are similar with Big Time. We make sure that at any given point in time, the maximum amount of tokens that can be in circulation is limited. The tokens that are spent in the game are returned back to the in-game rewards pool and can be obtained by players playing the game. And that's basically the core concept. But as the player audience grows, and as the amount of users holding tokens grows, the supply is at all times, the circulating supply is limited. So at some point, the amount of users will, and the token becomes more like rare and harder to obtain. So do we use token to craft or upgrade is the last part of the question. And yes, tokens will be used to craft and upgrade collectible items. Not only to craft, but to also increase the luck level parameter. When you upgrade the level of the item, you will still have to upgrade the luck parameter according to match it with the level of the item. And of course, the upgrade mechanics will require tokens as well.
Yes. So if I could bring your attention to the
Okay,
stream,
I see you found it.
Yeah, we want to quickly mention some of the new things that are in. So these are the winter biomes. There's the variation right now is visual and just interaction, environmental. We have all these different effects, and a lot of the things that we're going to be adding to it throughout the things, such as different NPCs, unique things. These are all, things that we're going to do later. But the way this works is it's not like a level above the forest biome. We want you from the very beginning to have more variety. We always intended WorldShards to have more variety. So you are basically going to be able to encounter this as soon as, right? It's already in the map pool. And a lot of the things that you're going to be able to sort of encounter and just assume that it's similar, but it's the groundwork for something to be built upon. So a lot of the visual aspects and the variation goes a long way when you're running wild islands all the time. So yeah, I hope you can all agree that it is a beautiful biome, and there's so much more to come. But it was a lot of work to get here, and from the snow that is always coming, forced down by the players' weight, and all of the work that we had to put into this, to optimizing it and making sure that it runs okay. Yeah, it's I think a great testament to how far we've come, because there's only going to be more variation, and there's only going to be more things that you could do. But yeah.
Yeah, and another question is, will there be a token fee for entering islands to farm said token? Tom, will you take this one?
Sure. So we've already talked a little bit, and I showed it on stream. But basically, when it comes to entering the islands, it is exactly the same. The only difference is that you are using charges and opting in to the token drop, right? So the attraction forces that we talked about with enabling it, and the allocation of the charges, the 4 items that you choose, and the luck multiplier that goes into it. So like I said, the fee in tokens is not there. Instead, the fee in tokens is elsewhere. It is in the charging and upgrading and blah, blah, blah of the entity items. But actually, to get into the wild island, you just need gold and the runes. And it's simple as that.
Yeah, and speaking about other token utilities, we got a question of whether we'll be able to trade with tokens in the in-game auction, and the answer to that is no. Auction house is specifically dedicated to in-game currency like copper, silver, gold that you gain while being on adventures. So there is it.
Yes, that's right.
And another question is, will there be a daily limit when it comes to farming tokens altogether or individually? And another question is, after the economy launch, will it cost tokens to craft collectible items?
So I think I will take this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of the things we wanted to show you at the very beginning of the AMA. So these are the new mechanics. You can see them, but we're still, you guys asked these questions, so we're still going to answer them. So yeah, will there be a daily limit when it comes to farming overall? Yes and no. Like we said, it's a token, so there is a limit to the amount of token that there is to begin with, right? But we're not going to limit you as a player on the amount that you can farm in a day. You can farm as much as you can, all right? So yeah, yes and no. There's another big question here. I'm going to stop the stream and focus on answering the questions and stuff. This is about the islands and economy. For now, higher rarity islands do not have much extra uses. And as of now, I don't see the benefit, besides the progression part, like the collectible rarity, upgrading, etc., being linked to higher artifacts and thus islands. Because the other important economic use cases is 1, charging, repairing, improving luck is not linked to the rarity of the artifact, thus making it indirectly not linked to higher rarity islands as well. Let's defragment, because he goes on to ask multiple questions, but I'm just going to cut it at the root here. We've already showed you how how everything is linked, right? So you will still need to charge these items, and as we said, if you do not have the linked artifacts with the items, you will not be getting the luck multipliers to increase properly in terms of efficiency, acceptable levels, the token drops. So you need to work on that in order to make it drop the tokens at a rate that is, you can be happy with. So the second part of the question was, will there be additional use cases for islands of higher rarity? I don't mean token drop or something like that, like Big Time has with CHG, as that is, in my opinion, bad for the economy and the token. And number 3, for example, each island can get some resources growing on them. Why don't I have trees or stone deposits on my island? And then depending on the rarity of my island, rarer resources can be dropped from it. Right, so we've had this idea, and ultimately it boils down to this. We want to not create a passive playstyle. We want you to actually actively go in, pay for the entrance fee, and play our game in order to get these resources. Passively having income on your islands is not something that we are interested in pursuing right now. So no, you'll still need to go on these wild islands, and as we said, the islands and the rarities of the islands has a big part to play in the economy, as we've literally demonstrated at the very beginning. So we don't see that as a bigger problem. Moving on, will the adventure islands drop tokens similar to the broken hourglasses in Big Time? And if it falls, do I need to use an artifact to break it down? So we do not have broken hourglasses like in Big Time. We do believe that they are not really in line with the overall logic behind the WorldShards economy, which is basically active player-centric, right? Like we just answered a second ago, we want you guys to play our game. We want you to actively engage, right? So we will not have similar mechanics. However, some of the features in the plans would allow active players not engaged in a collectible economy to engage with it in some relatively easy way. But details on that, I'm not ready to give you. That feature will become probably available after the economy launch. Another question, will the chance to craft a higher rarity item from crafting stay even after the update? Does someone else want to take this? Because I've been speaking a lot.
Yeah, happy to take that. And yeah, sure, this is the feature that was introduced with the introduction of the craft system, and it will stay there, giving players slight chance of, if you get lucky, you will be able to craft even a better item than the one that you were intended to craft.
Sure. Moving on. During the initial phases, will the gem expenditure be significant, or will it be relatively low cost to recharge the NFTs? It's a very good question. Andre, I think you can answer this one.
Yeah, sure. Since I was describing this these phases, happy to take that as well. So the first phase, which will feature effectively which is called trial coin run event, will happen at soon after the update. It will not start at the very same date when the update will take place. We have another live ops event planned to start soon after at the very same time when the update will happen with the wipe, and the trial coin run will start a bit later. We will post a detailed description of the rules and reward pools that you'll have there. So you definitely can expect that the gem spendings will be different from the live economy because that is like preparation to the economy launch.
Makes sense. Another question about NFTs. Will NFT equipment like weapons, armor, tools drop in-game from resource collection, enemy killing on economy launch? And there was another question that we bunched in because it's very similar. After the economy is launched, will there be other types of NFTs dropping in wild islands like armor or weapons, tools, always just decorations? So the simple answer to that is no. That is not really within our design philosophy. Collectible equipment is player crafted, can only be crafted or purchased from other players on open loot. There's a very good reason why we're doing this, and it is simply to make a engaging economy for the players, right? So I hope you guys will understand that. So moving on, a little bit about gameplay. Will the merging of collectibles to upgrade a higher rarity be in the update? A lot of questions about this in the chat. Or will it only be the token drop and collectible item charging? And another question that is linked to this is, will the synthesis of equipment be enabled in the second stage of the economy launch, or is it in this upcoming update?
I'll take this one. I love simple questions where I can simply say yes and everyone will be happy. So yes, merging of collectibles will be available from phase 2 of the economy launch and onwards.
That's right.
By
So
the way,
look forward to that.
There is over 400 people with us here right now.
Oh my God.
Yay!
Crazy.
That's
And
massive.
one important addition, just to clarify and to set the expectations correctly, the phase 2, there might be a gap between phase 2 and the final economy launch. So the upgrades will be enabled, although the proxy tokens activation and farming might become not unavailable between these two phase 2 and 3 effectively.
That's right. So yeah, but we are very aware that releasing the upgrading of Rarity is a very important mechanic. So yeah, like we said, we'll get these things, the basic things that have to work out first, and then we'll focus on this. But we know it's important to you guys, and we'll be working on it. So let's move on. Regarding the interaction between adventure points and luck in WorldShards, if adventure points are key to collecting tokens, how exactly does the number of points spent affect the success rate when collecting tokens? Is there any synergy between spending more adventure points and the luck or luck charge of the equipped collectible item?
I'll take this one. Yeah. First of all, adventure points is quite a throwback. Now they are known as luck charge, and based on the size of the island, you use a specific amount of luck charge, just like Tom showcased in his demonstration. And based on like total amount of luck of your items, you will get your drop chance of tokens. Hope this covers the question. And another one, speaking of the drop, another question was, will islands drop anything else except tokens and collectibles? Well, actually, yes, you will be able to obtain a special resource called Rifts, which is used to upgrade your collectible items. And we got a lot of questions about upgrading said items. One of them is, will there be different rarities in shards or just one rarity? Tom, I guess this one goes for you.
Sure. So let's make this clear. What was once known as shards is now known as rifts. And no, rifts will work as follows. You will find unprocessed rifts and be able to process them multiple times to obtain the type and quality of rift that will allow for the upgrading of the specific rarity of an item. The availability of the rift processing recipe will depend on the rarity of the artifact linked to the targeted crafting station. And of course, a minimum artifact rarity must be established for the recipe to become available. Like I said, the importance of artifact rarities on full display here. Moving on, there's a question again about the drop and the gameplay. Will each gear type, armor, tools, weapons, have their own shard version? So you need specific shards for that type of gear. And the answer to that is very simple. There will be different types of rifts for different types of equipment. So the thing that we're trying to get across to you guys is you have much more control over the kind of things you're preparing for. Think of this as processing resources, right? You will have to work on the rifts that you get, the unprocessed ones, work on them, build them up to progress to the level that you want, right? So that's the idea here. Moving on, will Merchant Farina, by the way, may I just say Merchant Farina is the most asked about NPC in our entire game, because she holds you guys, she's got you guys all hooked around her finger because you're all selling stuff to her and she's giving you the gold that you want, right? Anyway, will Merchant Farina provide more gold a day to the player if they complete subsequent levels, 2, 3, etc.? Or is it going to be reworked when reputation is finalized? And there's another question linked to that. Will there be changes to the gold system, as in will repair, consumables, and island entry still cost gold? And if the gold daily limit is staying?
Yeah, actually, I think from the very, very first AMA session, or maybe the second one, we got a lot of questions about the gold limit, and the answer is quite simple. We are like looking into ways, looking into different things we can do with the gold limit, and we are looking into a good way to increase it, but nothing concrete is decided yet. And once we'll have a decision that fits our game design philosophy, we will let you know.
Yeah, so just to make it clear, the gold limit is there for a number of reasons, one of which is to set the healthy daily session length for the players. So if we wanted to intentionally allow playing 24/7, we would not introduce this feature. So in some way, this gold limit will be limiting the session length at all times. However, there could be different ways of how this gold limit might be increased some from time to time. But that is a session limit mechanic that will most likely stay there for good. But we are always monitoring the statistics, looking into analytics, and trying to come up with a design that we find most promising and healthy for the game overall.
Yeah. Yeah, shall we go ahead?
Sure. Do you mind reading the question, Rim? That's okay.
Which one? I see. Will high rarities above legendary, so mythic and etc., only be available for upgrading events? And if that's the case, will they be sold? We don't need exact time, but for example, not in the first months after economy opens.
Right. Another important question. So higher rarities will become available from the rarity upgrade mechanic introduction and onwards. So it is at that point that upgrading artifact rarities as well as other such items, like you said, this mechanic will not be available until later on in the economy launch. But once it becomes relevant, yes, we're going to unlock things above legendary.
Yeah.
Right.
And
let's move on. Will there be different islands to explore where the token drop will be enabled? Or will it drop from the current islands? I think we've already seen that, but I'm going to go on with the question. Will these islands have a gem fee to enter? And will the gold limit our playtime for these islands? So 3 questions in one.
Yeah, sure. So the answer to the first one is, as we said, we will allow players to decide when to activate the token drops through the collectible items. Tom already shown you how it works. It's called Activate the Attraction Force. You'll see it in Travel menu. So you basically activate it and then you go and farm token. When you enter one of the current adventures, so you'll have the option to basically choose whether you do it or not. Speaking of gem fee, there will be no gem fee. Cost will remain in runes and basic in-game currency, like gold. However, you will need to charge NFT items if you want to obtain tokens from drops, and charging, of course, gets speed up by gems. And speaking of third question, yes, gold will factor into how many adventures you can go to. Gold and runes will still be used to enter wild islands, regardless of whether or not you choose to activate the attraction force to enable token drop. There is set.
Right. Very well explained, good sir. And moving on. If we enter a wild island with 4 uncommon NFTs, for example, 1 uncommon weapon, armor, pickaxe, axe, and it breaks whilst you're still clearing the island, and we slot in common NFTs as replacement, will the luck rate change, or will the luck rate be determined the moment we enter an island? Excuse me. In other words, is the important thing our luck rate during entry, or the currently equipped luck rate when farming resources and killing enemies? So we've already seen that, but I think maybe Andrei should answer this just so it's extra clear.
Yeah, I'm happy to elaborate additionally on that because the mechanic is new and it never hurt to explain it in more detail. So effectively, the items equipped when you enter the island are the ones where the charge is being debited from. So what that means is that as long as you have those items equipped, the luck and the attraction force will work. And if by any means they will be taken off, that includes you taking them off, or they will be taken off if the item is broken and needs to be repaired, the token drop will either decrease if that's one item out of 4, or will completely stop if there is no activated charged items left on you. And that makes perfect sense, because otherwise it will create an enormous amount of combinations of what you can do and change, and it just doesn't make sense. So the same items that you used to enter the island, to enter the adventure, the same items should be on you, and as long as you want to have token drops enabled. I think that answers it. And let me check. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's move on then.
Yep, that makes perfect sense. So, moving on. Will I be able to charge a level 4 tier 2 NFT on my level 1 tier 0 bench? As the level of our NFTs increase, will the materials required for charging them also increase? The answer to this is simple no. To charge an item, you need a crafting station of the appropriate level and tier or higher, and the cost of charging does not depend on the level tier of the item. Moving on. Will the new player requirement to have an access key or a founder island to access the game be removed with the economy launch? Or will people be able to play the full version of the game without buying NFTs? And there's another similar question, and that is, when the economy launches, will we still need to have an access key or a founder island to play the game? Ro, would you like to take this?
Oh, I'm sorry, my mic shut down for some reason. Yeah, at this time you need a key or an island, as you all know, to enter the game, and this requirement will remain here for the foreseeable future. As the project goes to other phases, well beyond the economy launch, there could be changes to the requirements of access. However, even after we launch the economy, access won't be free for all. It could happen later down the line as we would launch a free-to-play version of the game. However, this remains to be seen.
Right.
Yep.
When will we be able to start? Sure. Yeah. No. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. Go ahead. I just wanted to take you to give you a breather and read another set of questions.
Yeah.
When
Actually.
will we to start changing the extra stats and aspects on our weapon and armor? And can equipment stats and aspects be reset by spending tokens or crystals? Andrew, would you like to take this one?
Sure. So the ability to effectively re-roll stats and aspects was asked many times before, and I believe we already communicated that it will be introduced at some point later. It will definitely happen after the economy launch, and reroll attributes for the item will be available for all rarities, and that will be the way to address the issue that sometimes you just get crafting an item, you just get the aspect that it doesn't really fit your gameplay style or is not well combined with the other aspects you have. So there will be a way to fix that.
Makes sense.
So
will
the next
NFT...
question is...
Oh, go for it. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh.
I'm interrupting everyone today.
Yeah, will the NFT item rarity upgrade system be implemented at the same time as the economy launch phase 2? And I think the similar question to that one is, will there be any other features related to NFT upgrading released in this phase? Or will those only be implemented after the token launch? Tom, can you answer this one?
So I think increasing rarity and the luck level will be available during phase 2 of the economy. Like we said, it's the second part to the very important problem of introducing the way to progress further, right? So that's going to be phase 2, okay? Another big important question is, will the synthesis of mythic artifacts and mythic equipment begin in the next test? Will mythic equipment have one more attribute than legendary equipment?
I think I should take this one. So you will be able to increase the rarity of the items that we mentioned in the phase 2 and after the economy launch. Artifacts introduced as the launch goes on, and of course, new artifacts being introduced, new item rarities will also become available. So to be more specific, there is a second part to the question that I would like to address. The increase of attributes of the item for different rarities. So we have, you can divide rarities in 2 parts, like the ones legendary and below, and mythic and above. So game attributes that provide you with higher stats, increased like damage, health aspects, and so on, will be only increasing until the legendary rarity. Everything beyond that will be subject to only Web3 related stats increase, such as luck. That is due to the fact that we need to keep the game in balance for like to have the artifacts being balanced between different levels and rarities. 10 tiers of stats upgrade on the same level would not make much sense. That's why starting with the mythic rarity, the items will not have their power in-game power increased. And the next question is related to the artifacts. We can see that the current artifacts on the market are seriously insufficient. The artifacts introduction also said the second sale will be held soon. Will new artifacts sales come before the second stage? So I would like to address this one because there might be some kind of confusion. So the question mixes up 2 different topics and 2 different items. One is the second set of the artifacts, and this is like the batch that is planned for the very future upgrades, distant future updates, and new content, because obviously the set 1 artifact, you can consider that being released set, is far from being depleted in terms of its max issuance. So for the foreseeable future, only artifacts from set 1 will be becoming available for different minis, including sales. So set 2 is not something that you should take into account for the next at least a year, I would say.
Makes sense.
And let's move on. Will there be new artifacts to produce weapon, armor, pickaxe, and skins? Or will we use the current artifacts? If other artifacts are required, players will have hard time finding artifact slots to install them. So yeah, just to make it clear for the in regards to the artifacts, the very same artifacts that are already available on the market will be used for all memes and related to collectible crafting for the foreseeable future. We are monitoring the growth of the user base, and of course, from time to time, by different means, new artifacts might become available. So we will keep you posted. We are explicitly communicating all the sales upfront if they will be planned to happen. So keep eyes on the news feed, and also keep an eye on the live ops events that are being announced, because many of them will give you a chance to actually compete for prizes like artifacts as well.
Yep, and there was a question about increasing the number of artifact slots and increasing the number of additional islands that can be attached to the main one. We actually don't, whether it's going to happen, and we actually don't have any plans to change the number of artifact slots. So there is that. You can take a no for an answer. And another question we got is, I found that each of our artifacts is labeled with set 1 or 2. And will set 2 be made available at and set 2 will be made available at a later date? Will there be another one of those sales? Set 2 will be available way later, specifically when set 1 Marxicians is close to be depleted. And so when we need when the demand for the artifact grows, the set 2 becomes relevant and we add it to the market, but not in the near future.
Yeah, I think that's just duplicating questions because they are literally referring to the same issue. And I hope we answered them.
Yep, let's move on. In the wiki, it is now mentioned you need an artifact of any rarity. But will higher rarity give advantages? For example, like with charging with higher efficiency? A similar question regarding artifacts is, are there any other advantages rather to higher rarity artifacts and islands? At present, it looks the same as purple artifacts and below. There is no advantage in the value of high-level artifacts. So this is, I think, the third time I'm answering this. There is an advantage, and I think I've not only showed it in the stream, but I'm just going to answer this anyway. Yes, the rarity of the artifact determines the amount of luck charge of the item based on the item's rarity. That, in turn, determines the token drop chance / efficiency. For example, right? We all like examples. You have an epic item and a common artifact. So during the charging, the luck charge of that item will be lower than that of the value if you were to use an epic rarity artifact. Therefore, the higher rarity artifacts allow for more efficient charging on the NFTs, which enable more token drops, as well as fully realizing the token drop characteristics of the collectible item that you have. There's no point running around with legendary weapons if you don't have legendary artifacts to actually charge them to the correct amount, right? On the topic of the higher rarity of the island, the higher rarity potential of the artifact that you can place on it is the linking factor. So you need one for the other. So the higher rarity of the artifact, the higher the rarity of the item that you can obtain from the item rarity upgrade process as well. So multiple advantages, actually. Anyway, this question is, will the OG gear have any benefit in the economy against the crafted ones? Like, let's say if you compare a legendary OG with a crafted legendary, will they both be the same? And I think OG means founder because we don't have original gangster gear in our game. So I think the question is between founder gear and craftable gear.
Yeah, so let's assume that OG gear is referring to the founder ones. And this question has been repeated many times. I don't mind to answer that once again and highlight probably another issue. So by means of upgrading, it will take quite a a lot of time and items to get to any rarity, including legendary. And actually having several items of the same rarity allows not only to use them, you cannot use them simultaneously, obviously, but at the same time you can use them while the other one is being charged, for instance. So if we take legendary founder item, so what it offers is that you start with the legendary right away. If you even get the second legendary, you will still be able to use them and charge them one after another and use them more often. And most importantly, to get the item of the next rarity, you will have to collect 3 of the previous ones. And if that is a legendary rarity, that's hell of a shortcut to have 1 or let alone 2 items already in place. That way you will be required to only craft 1 before you can use all 3 of them to upgrade it to the next rarity. So I would say that this might not be obvious, but I'm pretty sure that as soon as the update goes live and we will have the event that is allowing users to try how the token collection mechanics work with this coin trial run event, I think most of these questions will be resolved because the process will become more obvious. And of course, as I mentioned, we are updating the wiki right away to provide all the descriptive information about the mechanics and processes that will be introduced in the upcoming update.
That's a very
And
good answer.
The next question, please.
Yes. Could you confirm if WorldShards will implement a token burning and collectible burning system to control supply and increase the value of in-game assets? Additionally, can the team provide examples of activities where this burning will be implemented?
Yeah, so basically, I always want to clarify and to define the terms when we are talking about token burning, supply, circulation, and so on. So usually when the burning is mentioned, it is assumed that the tokens are burned, and usually the burning is applied within the ecosystems where the amount of tokens is infinite. So the burning is actually needed to kind of control the inflation and remove part of the tokens from the circulation for good, so that the new emission will stay within the reasonable, like new limited tokens will not constantly increase the circulating supply. And that's where the burning is happening, and by burning, it's usually meant that tokens are destroyed. However, in our case, we have a limited supply, like with Bitcoins. Like we will at any time have limited circulating supply of tokens on the market, and it doesn't make sense to apply the burning mechanisms here, because if Bitcoins were burned, the amount of Bitcoins will constantly decrease, which is not something you want to do when you already addressed the maximum circulating supply issue. So in our case, as we communicated, the circulating supply will be constantly limited with some vesting in place, and the maximum circulating supply of the token at all times is hard capped at 5 billion. We'll never be able to exceed that. And the tokens that are on hands of the players and are spent in the game, they are effectively removed from the circulating supply. So all means of spending tokens in the game are removing them from the circulation. And taken that the maximum circulating supply is limited and subject to vesting, this is more than enough to make sure that the long-term economy will stay within the boundaries of these max issuance limits, and the amount of tokens will be increasing gradually with the user base growth, and at some point will reach its limits, and the tokens will be effectively distributed to the community. I think that answers it, and we will provide elaborate information and slides in the economy sheet as well quite soon.
Yeah, another question was related to communications. I guess I'll take it entirely because that's my domain. Why hasn't the WorldShards team updated the game wiki, forcing new players to consult X and Discord for information, creating a confuse and conquer experience? What actions will the team take to improve the project's presentation? Well, basically speaking, as Tom already mentioned, our development sort of ran way ahead and way faster than our wiki and resources that are available to our players. And while our mods and our community managers did a great job, in my opinion, in order to keep everyone informed, there is still a huge need and huge demand to have an updated wiki. And we are currently working on updating the wiki. We'll put our best effort to refresh most of the pages with fresh assets, fresh instructions, and clear directions in order what is what, in order to show you what is what. So yeah, you can wait for that like in an upcoming weeks. It's already in the process. And another question with regards to concern was, what measures will the WorldShards team implement to prevent the creation of multiple accounts and the use of Ethereum network for transfers that undermine the official open loot market? And how will the WorldShards team ensure that those actions do not affect the value of other players' collectibles? Well, as I already answered numerous times in chat, such actions are prohibited by open loot. If we identify players that abuse the system, they will be reported and they will be banned. So basically, we keep an eye on that, especially when it comes to users that abuse different types of in-game events, in-game activities. We are very careful with that. And with regards to the second part of the question, the ability to withdraw assets outside of the ecosystem is inherent to the Web3 concept that we follow. However, we would still pay attention if different means of transfer would be imbalanced, and will address that if it's needed. So basically, you're in good hands. I know that some of you think that due diligence when it comes to multiple accounts are lacking, but what I will say from our side, we have like a huge database, we keep track of everything and we report everything. So we are doing our best to ensure your safety.
Makes sense. So another question, or rather concern, and the communications department. So how does the WorldShards team plan to address the negative perception caused by the lack of sold out status in the last 3 pre-sales boxes, the disparity in their value, and the uncertainty generated by these changes? So I think our leader is best suited for answering this.
Yeah, I'm happy to address that, and I think I will start that. First of all, the question here lacks some reasoning and details that would support its statements, because it's not clear to me actually what disparity refers to. And talking about the negative perception, it is also a bold statement that arguably is true or not true. It's a subjective judgment. In my understanding, one of the metrics of the perception is the market prices, and we don't see any negative sentiment there. On contrast, the increasing user base makes us to find balance between we are in the active growth stage, and we are constantly in need to balance and to plan all the events, including sales, not based on where we are today, but based on where we are heading to. So I believe that we are handling that quite effectively and successfully, and we are continuing to expand our reach. And in some cases, we are thinking a couple of steps ahead to make sure that there will be no major swings in any aspect of the game, its user base, prices, or whatever. So I hope that answers this question, which is actually not quite clear, because I would appreciate if you would provide more reasoning or be more elaborate in what you are referring to. It's quite hard to guess. And the next question is, who is eligible to receive the adventure board airdrop, and how will the tokens be distributed? So what type of content or tokens will be included in the airdrop, and how can players maximize their benefits from this distribution? So you are all aware about the adventure boards. Recently, there were introduced some quests related to in-game activity, and also you can help us spread the word about the game and be rewarded with the adventure board points. So the way to maximize them is to engage with our social media posts and also look for other tasks that are there and complete them. That's very simple. And of course, referrals will help you to multiply that by significant amount. And regarding the airdrop, so all the airdrops obviously will happen very close or simultaneously with the TGE event, which means that after phase 2, the rules of how the points could be converted will be published beforehand. And as I mentioned earlier, there would be several options to how they could be converted. That will include both tokens and gems, and we are also planning to introduce some additional utility to those points, and some allow to spend them to get some new content. You remember that we use them to allow users to get whitelisted, and we are thinking about new ways to utilize that as well. Hope that answers the question. And let's move on.
And another question is sort of a huge elephant in the room. It's something that we referred to multiple times during this AMA session. Could you provide more details about trial coin run event? How will it work, and what rewards will be available? Well, first of all, this event will be called WorldShards Trials, as many naming ideas. It comes from me, so if you don't like it, you can send me an angry DM. I already take it. WorldShards Trials are something that we've been preparing for a long time, and simply put, Trials is a leaderboard. You guys all know and love leaderboards, I hope. It's a leaderboard event where players will be divided into different leagues based on the gear that they have. And players will be competing for rewards by doing what most of you love doing the most, kicking enemies' asses. Basically killing wargs, killing gnolls, clearing up the island, selling vehicles, and getting trial coins. Of course, trial coins are here to test the token drop feature, and by killing enemies, you'll get those coins, and based on the amount of coins you obtain, you'll either get a chance to participate in a raffle that will be like league-based once again, or a guaranteed prize for a top 3 rank in your league. You can expect more info on the prizes and the timeline a bit later, probably next week. And if for some reason you don't like fighting works, you're more of a builder or a treasure hunter, we're also going to have several events during the first stage of the economy, so don't worry. During phase 1, you'll have different sets of events for each type of gameplay. Expect great things from WorldShards.
And just want to add a couple of cents here that since the trial coins will be following the same rules, how the tokens will be, token rewards will be dropped in the game, they are not exclusively dropped from only killing enemies, but also from other sources of drop, such as resource veins, trees, and so on. So pretty much all the activities that you get loot from will be able to provide you with some coins dropped.
Yep. And the other questions are related to multiplayer. We actually got a lot of questions to multiplayer related to multiplayer. How will you address the challenges related to the multiplayer gaming experience, especially concerning coordination and collaboration among players? Are there specific features that will help improve real-time communication and interaction during gameplay? So I know it may be a shock for some of you, but almost, I would say not almost, but everybody in Logix Studio are avid gamers. We enjoy playing multiplayer games. You've been asking Andrew about his Modern Warfare 3 experience before the AMA started. So yeah, we play and enjoy a lot of successful multiplayer titles. We know what systems will improve and make for an enjoyable multiplayer experience in our game, such as voice chat, drop-in and drop-out lobbies, etc., etc. To that end, our servers and client programmers are working restlessly to ensure that our vision will be released to the best extent possible. And we are really excited to have a multiplayer and basically allow you all to play together. But there is some time needed for us to properly cook this feature. So yeah, guys, you gotta wait quite a bit because multiplayer, as we always said, comes after the economy launch.
Makes sense. So, next question is the current luck on our collectible item, for example, legendary with 1 luck, the max, or are they starting points and can be improved based on level and tier, and then the max from that starting point is the start of the next rarity? So I think Valkyrie asked about increasing luck, so let me answer in a more official capacity. There are 2 separate processes. Increasing the level and tier of an item increases the in-game parameters, as well as increasing the luck level. That mechanic will become available with phase 2 of the economy launch. And increasing an item's luck level increases its luck value. So your current items have values that correspond to luck level 1. And as we roll out the updates, you will have the option, the mechanics rather, to progress past that, right? Another question. We know that luck charge depends on the rarity of the item and the artifact used during the charging process. Could you provide more details on how luck charge influences the consumption of adventure points and the overall efficiency of the token collection process? Does a high luck charge item consume fewer adventure points to collect more tokens, or does it simply increase the probability of success of each attempt? So, luck charge does not influence the consumption of adventure points, and by the way, adventure points we've already addressed. This is because adventure points cost scale with island size and nothing else. Luck charge, however, affects the chance of token drop. Therefore, the lower the luck charge, the less tokens will drop. It's as simple as that. A couple more questions. This is more about the future and other plans, a little bit unrelated to crafting and NFTs. So, when the events like Halloween or Christmas or Easter, etc., or some monthly events where players can collect some items to exchange for skins or decorations or other good stuff like materials. And another link question to that is there any furniture limited to special holidays? Is there any chance of a fashion system in the future? And by the way, I think fashion system, what they mean by that is the transmogrify system, right? From like World of Warcraft and stuff, where you're able to switch the appearance of items. So yeah, who wants to answer this one?
Yeah, I'll take this one. In the future, we plan to host events related to holidays and special occasions. Not this Halloween, but maybe the next one, who knows. At this very moment, we are focused on more crucial tasks, such as developing economy, developing multiplayer features, and all of our attention is directed towards these priorities. However, a little secret from us to you, there is something we are preparing for a little special holiday. So stay tuned and expect some news on that front. Of course, we have plans to include different customization mechanics later down the line. And we know that it's important for you to express yourself. So while we are not ready to release any information yet, it's something that is definitely planned for later. And another question that I'll gladly take, since I was assaulted by my cat during the CMA session. Will there be pets and mounts? Well, as of pets, the feature known as animal husbandry, allowing players to interact with and benefit from like livestock, is planned, but it's like in the very, very distant future. So basically, when I say that something is planned in the future, you can expect it like in a foreseeable one. This one is way, way ahead of us as of right now. Oh, by the way, another question is quite lovely. I'll also take this one. Hello, everyone. I hope you are well. We hope you are well too. Can you speak more about the new biome? When will the new biome be available? Will it be available in stage 3 of the economy? Could you talk about the new resources we will find in the new biome? And another question is, when is the winter biome planned to be officially launched? Do different types of island groups in the future represent different types of drops? So, guys, Tom already showed you WorldShards Winter. In my opinion, it looks absolutely amazing. The last time I was so hyped for any type of in-game winter was when I launched Red Dead Redemption 2, when I was way younger than right now.
Find another one and show again, because we have so many people coming in.
Sure,
in.
Yeah, go ahead. If you can demonstrate it once again, I will gladly oblige. We are excited to announce that new winter biome will be launched alongside the update 0.5.5. We hope that you'll love it. We've put
which is the closest update.
Yeah, which is basically next update. We hope that you'll love it. Winter came a bit earlier this year. We worked very hard on its development. Our art team once again knocked it out of the park. I'm always amazed by those guys. And actually, there is like a little sneak peek. We're already working on another new biome following that. Not ready to make any announcements, but I think that if you love winter, you love the next one too. At the start, winter biome will contain current resources, as Tom already told you. However, in the future, we're going to deepen the mechanics of different biomes and potentially introduce the new and unique resources to each of the biome we are currently developing. And god damn it, look at this beautiful snow and ice and reflections and blizzard and stuff. It is really lovely. I'm proud of what our team has achieved on that one. I know we all
So,
are
shall
sort
we
of
move on to the next question?
speechless, but let's move on.
Yes, I don't have two monitors. I can't read the question. Show the game.
Yeah, okay, I'll read the next one. Will the tokens be locked for 10 days, like in big time, to pull them out? And basically, will the tokens be locked for 10 days, like in big time? And
yeah, so this is quite a specific question. Yeah, happy to address that. So, just for everybody to not to worry. Effectively, we will have at least one AMA session before each phase. And as you already might have noticed, we are trying to address the issues on each AMA, like today's. We are trying to address and elaborate on the issues that are closest to be released and updated, such as the nearest update, the functionality of charging items, and so on. So the question related to for how long or if at all tokens will be locked is more related to the phase 3, and we don't have the exact details yet. But rest assured, we will communicate that when the time comes. For now, we are focused on establishing the right partners for the economy launch and listing. And the details, like the one asked, are quite specific and are usually sorted out on the final stage of the token launch planning. So we will address and communicate that at later stages.
Yep. And another question.
What do we have next?
Yeah. Another question is actually quite an angry one. The community wants a real answer, not the usual we'll talk about it soon, or we haven't thought about this aspect, if that's the case. The market seems to have preference towards big time. How will the system to earn social points that can be exchanged for open loot token will be integrated at WorldShards? Will this token be earnable within the game or at some WorldShards event?
So I'm pretty sure that we are answering these kind of questions for the first time on at least an AMA, and I definitely can say that our community has preference to WorldShards. So I have no idea why one could think that social points that we introduced way before open loot reputation points and open loot token, why one could think that our social points have to do something with open loot. Our social points will be converted to our token, our gems, and other resources related to WorldShards, because that's the whole point of WorldShards social program that allows you to get rewards in our project for being active member of our community. If you want to get something in big time or open loot reward points, you should look for the activities that are announced by these parties and engage with them. It's quite that simple. And obviously we are good and strategic partners with OpenLoot, and we are having wonderful relationships with Big Time, and we are supporting one another. But I think we should what we all do is we focus on our product and its development, and that's it.
Yeah, I think that.
Oh, let's take sense. Another one.
Yeah. In big time, various restrictions such as withdrawal time limits and fees are applied to NFT items and tokens for different reasons. Are we planning to have similar restrictions in WorldShards as well?
Okay, so another reference to big time, and unfortunately, this is also a question that I find hard to answer to be specific about because it lacks clarity. It refers to some limits and some fees that are not named. So I cannot answer the specific question. What I can tell you is that we definitely do not plan to have to replicate any and all rules, gameplay features, and we are not actually doing that from big time. So the only reason why we might consider having some limitations or rules is for the benefit of the game ecosystem and to probably prevent some exploitations or malicious behavior. As of today, we do not plan to replicate any of the rules that might be in place in big time for whatever reasons. First of all, because those reasons might not be relevant to us. So happy to be more specific if the question will be phrased in a more specific way, but that's I'm afraid that's all I can tell based on the question we get.
So we have a question regarding AI. Are you considering integrating AI to enhance the gameplay experience within WorldShards? Will AI play a role in shaping the game's economy or adapting to difficulties and tasks based on each player's playstyle? So I know there's a lot of talk about this kind of stuff, and we are, actively engaging with other projects and looking at what they're doing and seeing, what kind of things we can integrate. So all I can say about this is that we're all excited about the prospects of AI, just like you are. If used as any tool in the right way, it can really enhance a lot of projects, and it can save us a lot of work. It can make some really incredible things. But besides actively monitoring the developments of the tech, can't say anything more concrete. We'll be considering its use in our project very carefully. We're not just going to jump on this because it's exciting. We will have to see some real tangible benefits, and specifically on that, there's nothing more I can say. Another one to do with gameplay is, how do you plan to enhance the diversity of digital assets within WorldShards? And what are your plans for adding unique elements or innovative rewards that reflect culture and community? Is there an intention to involve the community in designing or suggesting new assets? Our art team is always working to enhance the visual aspects of the game. And I think with each update, you can see that. To add new content, this process is not easy. It takes so much time. And also importantly, it needs to, visually be cohesive with the entire project. It's very difficult to do that if we have a community involved. This, however, does not mean that we're not going to do that. I'm just saying that if we do these sorts of things, we have to do it in the right way, because we want our game to stay beautiful. I think we can all agree that this game is gorgeous, right? So it is best to leave most asset creation, I would say, to our in-house art team. They know what they're doing. In the future, yeah, sure, we may collaborate with the community to create NFT decorations. In what exact way that's going to look like, I don't think I can tell you. But yeah. Another question is to do with NFTs. Is it necessary to reset the progression of the NFT that we've already upgraded before the wipe?
The wipe questions, my favorite. Yes, wipe is necessary. We need to implement changes to the game because game systems are linked. We cannot add the new stuff like the economy without resetting some of the other systems. Basically, we have to wipe the items because we have to wipe the crafting stations and stuff like that. So wipe is 100% necessary. And another question we got about the wipe is, will there be another wipe before the economy full launch after the second stage? We are not currently planning any wipes after the economy launch. If anything changes, if any stuff will we need to reset, we'll announce it. We'll announce it properly. We'll let you know. As of right now, there is a single wipe planned. You don't have to worry about anything else, and we are going to announce it next week, the exact date. And the final questions, question the 60th one, also my favorite topic. Will there be rewards for those who bought the key early? Not planned. So guys, we stated it numerous times. Our game is in the early access. We've mentioned that before. You should have known it from the jump. And once the early access concludes, everyone who supported us during the early access will be rewarded, whether you supported us with buying Island or Welcome Bundle, which is, as I remind you, the best way to join WorldShards. Whether you buy a key from the market or in any other way, you will be rewarded for being with us through the thick and thin, through all the error 500s and error 250s and other stuff that we would like to avoid. So yeah, don't worry guys, we're going to take care of you.
And I think this has been not only the most popular AMA, also the longest AMA. Every time we get more and more questions. And we can't, for the life of us, catch up to the questions now. If when we started working on this project and we started working with our community, there was a realistic opportunity for us to answer every single question, that ship has sailed, guys. Thank you for asking these questions. We're sorry if we didn't answer. That does not mean that we don't care. That just means that we didn't see it or we answered another question. Okay. So yeah, thank you again for being here. I hope you all enjoyed it.
Thank you so much.
Excited content. Thank you, Ro and Andrew, for being here with me.
Yeah, always a pleasure. Let's meet once again, but with like 500 of you next time.
Yeah,
500.
good target.
Let's see.
Okay,
let's
bye.
test the capabilities of Discord.
I'd rather not. This thing is held together
Cheers,
by
everyone.
sticks. I swear it breaks all the time. See you guys. Take care.
Bye.
なんでだろう。あ、戻った？あれ、俺のツイッチの画面は止まったままだ。一応、これで終わったんで、ちょっとまとめっていうか、少しだけ話して終わろうかなと思います。簡単に言うと、あれですよね。まずワイプだよね。ワイプに関しては来週発表ありますよっていう可能性があるっていうことを言ってたのかな？多分。なんか止まってるよね。これで。あれ、ハンテストさんって見れてます？なんか俺、普通に止まってると思うんで。こういうの。そういうこと？そんなことある？まさかの。そんなことあるんだ。一応、声、もう終わったんで、声だけで最後締めるか。で、まずワイプの話は、具体的な話は、 はい。ワイプに関しての具体的な話はなかったと。で、経済に関してはいろいろと、画面見せながらいろいろと話してたんで、そこは今後に期待なんだけど、まず第一段階としてはポイント。トークンではなくてポイントでやってテストするっていうことだよね。あとなんかめぼしいのあった？これビットレートの設定が高すぎるのか。うん。あと気になったのが、ポイントか。あれだ、ポイント貯めてるやつ、あれトークンか、クリスタルじゃない。なんだっけ。ジェムだ。ジェムと交換できるようになりますよっていうことと、でも直近だとそれくらいじゃない？ワイプとそのポイントと、そう、ジェムだよね。合ってるよね。赤い宝石。クラフトに必要なやつ。あと、あれ出たかな？とにかく来週だよね、なんか。もう来週待てと。あとはテキスト版を待つしかないんかな。気になる話って言えば、本当？大したなんか、そんなになんかすげえこれ、みたいなのなかった気がするんだよな。でもトムさんはめちゃくちゃいろいろこの辺で言ってたよ。あとあれだよね、ミシップとかの話ちょっと出たね。うん、そうだよね。あんまりなんかさ、見せなかったね、そんなに。もっと具体的に見せてほしかったのと、あと、めちゃくちゃ冬マップ遊んでる画面多かったけど、正直冬マップで何が変わるのかよくわかんなかった。あれは。そもそも既存のマップではなさそうだよね、冬マップは。なんか別の島になるのかなっていう感じ。よし。とりあえず、今のところ、あとは、情報を待ってっていう感じですね。一番気になってたワイプがあんまり出てこなかったのが、多分そこがみんな気になっててしょうがないよね。そこに関しては。間違いない。休み取る。すごい。やる気満々ですね。いいね。でも確かにワイプ来たら一気にやりたいよね。進みたいよね。ということで、一旦今日はここまでにします。ちょっと告知だけさせてください。今週の土曜日、9時から、またビッグタイムの配信やります。ちょっとギブアウェイもしますので、よかったらください。箱、10名にギブアウェイの箱がある予定です。 いうことで、今日はここまでにします。また、ちょっと情報を一旦整理して、出せるんだったら出します。ちょっと難しい場合はちょっとテキストを待ちます。公式のテキスト。ということで、はい、今日はここまでにします。くれてありがとうございました。また今度こういうものをやるときは、なんかさ、誰かもう一人いた方がいい気がするので、なんか、あーだこうだ言いながら見るのがちょうどいいかなって思いました。こういう AMA を。なんで、次回以降はもしかしたらちょっと誰か呼んでやるかもしれないです。ということで、はい、今日はここまでです。ありがとうございました。では、おやすみなさい。バイバイ。